What's up, guys? Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm doing an account takeover for my clanmate, now 21. In this account takeover, we're going to try to be building a Mother Sybil style variant of the classic Myth-Fu. The way it works is DeMatha needs to be 291 speed, Eris needs to be at 265, Mother Sybil needs to be at 165, Seeker needs to be at 175, and then your DPS needs to be at 150. And as you can see, the way it works here is Eris is the first to go, doing her A2 to place increased speed on all allies. And then Seeker opens with the A1, everyone takes their turn. Seeker uses his A2 to give everyone a turn meter boost. Everybody goes again, and then the last to move is DeMatha, who places her block damage just before the clan boss uses his AoE. After the clan boss uses his first AoE, we go into the second turn and everything repeats all the way down until DeMatha places her block damage before the second AoE, and again before the stun. A2 from Eris to put increased speed on everyone, then DeMatha uses her A3 to block damage again. Whoever takes the stun gets cleansed from Eris when she uses her A2. That's how the tune works, and it allows us to go 50 turns unkillable against the clan boss. So now we're going to go in and look how all of his champions are geared, and we'll do some re-gearing if we need to. But like I said, Mother Sybil needs to be 165 speed, so she's definitely going to need to be re-geared. Jintoro, the DPS, needs to be 150 speed, so he's a little slow, and I'd like to get his crit rate up to 100% if I can, but his accuracy is good for Ultra Nightmare. Maybe a little bit more wouldn't hurt, but his attack is good too. And I like the reflex set because this skill is really good with reflex. Okay, and Seeker needs to be 175, so we'll need to cut 5 speed from his build. Eris is next. She needs to be 265, so a little bit faster probably. Yes, we're gonna need to really pick up her speed. Oh, she's not wearing gloves. Well, that should be easy to find some extra speed that way. And after Eris, we have DeMatha. For this, speed 2 needs to be 290 and 291. So it looks like she's going to need like 20 more speed. So we're going to have to re-gear everyone to make this speed tune work. I noticed I was looking at his Seeker, and he's not in crit damage gloves, and he's wearing speed boots. I would like to see if I can get him an attack percentage boots and crit damage gloves and get rid of this toxic set, because we're going to try to run Mother Sybil on toxic because Seeker hits very hard. This is my most recent clan boss run on Nightmare. As you can see, Seeker did 19 million damage, and that's without toxic. That's just raw physical damage. And my Mother Sybil did about 9.5 million, but that's with the toxic set. So I'm going to see if I can crank out the damage of his Seeker and move the toxic set onto Mother Sybil. Let's start with the top 3. And then for substats, we'll look for crit rate, just to see if we can see what we could find in toxic. We want equipped. Looks like Seeker's got all the toxic gear. Okay, this is not bad. Crit rate, crit rate. This could be good. Crit rate attack. Alright, let's try this on. We want more crit rate. We might not be able to make this work. You should never force a set onto somebody if you can't get the stats you're looking for. So now let's do boots. Well, hold on, let me see if I could see what he's got in toxic for boots, gloves, and chest. This is it, huh? Okay, so I don't think toxic is gonna work. Alright. Plan B. Alright, so what I ended up doing was I abandoned the idea of putting Mother Sybil in toxic gear because I just couldn't find any that worked with her stats. However, Eris, I could find. She was already in an attack percentage chest. I just had to steal these crit rate gloves from High Katoon, who he's using in his current clan boss team, and I double checked the calculator, and this 263 works with the speed tune. I put in the, hold on, I'll show you. Boop. Okay, so, oops, wrong button. Alright, so we put in the fact that she's wearing a speed set and the fact that she has Lore of Steel. And I checked it against all affinities, Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, everything works. So this speed that Eris is at works, and she's in a toxic set. And then for Jintoro, I managed to get his crit rate up to 100%. I managed to put in about 10% more crit damage. We increased his attack by about 1,000, and we even got his accuracy up. And all this in double cruel set, which means he's going to ignore 10% of the clan boss's defense. Yeah, so this, even though it's not in the flashy refresh build, every time he hits, he's going to crit, and he's going to do a lot more damage per hit. So it might not feel as fancy, but I think 100% crit rate with more attack and enough accuracy to land the debuffs is going to be a much better route. Much more consistent damage anyway. Okay, so while trying to re-gear Mother Sybil, we ran out of silver. So I'm doing a quick little gear cleanse. So what I'm doing here is I'm selecting gloves, chests, and boots, and then selecting flat HP, flat attack, and flat defense. And we're just going to go in and sell all these pieces of gear, because these are never going to be worth rolling up. If this had speed on it, I would keep it, but it does not, so we shall not. Oh, I thought I taught you better than this, buddy. Okay. Okay, so Mother Sybil is now complete. Okay, so we have HP percentage boots. These are not level 16. Again, I'm trying to conserve silver because I want to make sure I have enough to build everybody. An HP percentage chest piece, crit damage gloves, and then just crit rate. We don't need a whole lot of speed in this build. She only needs to be 165 speed, which we hit on the head. We have 100% crit rate and 211 crit damage. The accuracy is a little lacking, which we don't need for clan boss, but in other areas it's going to be an issue. So if you're watching this now, 21, if you can get an accuracy banner from the Spider's Den with exactly 10 speed on it, you can switch that out at any time. I tried to find one, but I couldn't. So it needs exactly 10 speed for it to continue working in this speed tune. So it's something to keep an eye out for when you're farming Spider. There's one other note I had. Oh, counterattack accessories. She had this, I think, or maybe it was this. Because Mother Sybil has a 10% turn meter or 15% turn meter boost on her A1, and she's A1ing every turn, any counterattacks from equipment or masteries can throw off the speed tune. Also, I redid her masteries going down to War Master. And because she's so slow, if you plan on using her in Faction Wars or anything, I went ahead and took Whirlwind of Death. So when she gets kills, it'll give her a little bit more speed. Her being so slow is kind of a bummer, but I use her in my Faction War team at that speed, and she works just fine. I did take her out of the stun set, unfortunately, but I think it was necessary to maximize your DPS for Clan Boss. And lastly, we have DeMatha, who only needs 20 speed in her build. Give or take, 17 to 20 speed in that range. And she's not wearing a speed set shield, but that's a very fast shield. Let's see if we can find a comparable one on the account. Let's try rolling this one up really quick. So if we get like a double speed roll on this, oh baby, and it's a double 6 roll too. Oh mama. Okay, so let's see what this puts us at. We're still 10 speed shy, but we can glyph that. I want to do the least amount of re-gearing as possible. Okay, so I went ahead and glyphed that shield that we rolled earlier, and I rolled 4 on a 4-star glyph, so that's perfect. And then I was looking at her speed, and I noticed we're like 5 to 6 speed shy of where we need to be, and he didn't have Lore of Steel. So I'm going to go ahead and give her Lore of Steel, and I think that will... We can't take this mastery or that'll screw us up. So let's go like this to increase her shield so she's better in general content. She doesn't need accuracy for anything, but we need it to get down to Lore of Steel. If we take this mastery here, Rapid Response, 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion removed or expires. That will actually throw off our speed zone, so we cannot take Rapid Response. So we're going to go down here to Lore of Steel, and now remember we were at 186 speed. Now let's look at where we're at. 291. This is perfect. Let me double check the calculator really quick. So she's at 291, so we change this to 291. She's in 3 speed. Now, if you're using the clan boss calculator, it's very important that you do this. So she's in 3 speed sets, and she has Lore of Steel at 291. And look, the speed tune still works. Okay, so we're going to switch it over to Spirit and see if it holds. Okay, now we're going to go up to Nightmare, and that's on Spirit. It still works. Now we're going to check Void. Okay, now this speed tune does not work against Brutal. Okay. Oh, it says it does. Fancy that. Well, on my account it doesn't. Maybe there's a tweak I can copy off what I did for him and change it to my account, because it doesn't hold against Brutal on my account. So I'm going to figure out what the differences are, and I'm going to try to make those adjustments on my account. But I still do enough damage to Brutal to get the top chest, so I'm not that worried about it. But it looks like his is working, so something's different. Oh well. Alright, so now we got to just gear Seeker and everything should be set. Actually, really quick, I'm going to show you what masteries I take beyond this point. So obviously we want crit. Oh, I took attack instead of, that's an accident. It's not really that big of a deal, because she's not going to be at 100% crit rate anyway. So we want 5% more damage when attacking from full HP. Because this is a block damage comp, everyone will always be at max HP, so this is the one you want for block damage style teams. Okay, then we want 10% crit damage, just because what the heck, we might as well, unless there's something on this side. We might actually take this instead. So let's skip this for now, since she's not crit capped, so that 10% crit damage isn't going to do us a whole lot of good. So now we go down to Single Out. Damage inflicted to targets with less than 40% HP by 8%. So when you're attacking an affinity clan boss who's below 40%, that's going to give you lots of value. Increases damage inflicted by 6% when attacking targets with higher max HP. So again, clan boss, that's a straight 6% damage increase. Increases the damage of your A1 by up to 10% over the course of a battle. This is just going to be raw damage against clan boss. And then War Master, because it deals like 70,000 damage to the clan boss every time it procs. Damage based on enemy max HP. So we're going to take War Master. And because he probably uses her in other content, I'm going to go ahead and just take this. Increase the value of heals. And we might as well just keep with that. She gives a shield on her A1, so this is going to get value. And increases healing. And I think we're going to take Lasting Gifts for more healing. She doesn't have any debuffs, so these don't do anything. And Kill Streak, she's not going to be killing lots of enemies anyway. So I think this is going to be a good, optimal mastery setup for his DeMatha here. For not only clan boss, but general content as well. Okay, quick note. Right now, his Seeker is intoxic. However, neither his Jintoro or his mother Sybil are currently awakened. If either of them become awakened, he can actually take the Brimstone Awakening Blessing. And doing so will give them Smite, which will deal 250,000 damage to clan boss every time it hits. Because they're on a 2-1. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, but you can basically get that to go off every other turn. This is very powerful. So we don't want too many champions in Toxic, because if we fill the debuff bar with those tiny little poisons, it could potentially block the Smite debuff from being applied. So while short term, it can be worth it to do more Toxic sets, but I think long term, it's going to be better to just leave it alone. And speaking of blessings, he's got Cruelty on DeMatha, which I think is great. This is the one I have on my DeMatha. It decreases the defense of Clan Boss by up to 5%. So it's going to give you a slight damage edge. I gained about 3 million damage per key by putting this on my DeMatha. And I noticed he's got Eris Awakened, but he hasn't chosen a blessing yet. We're going to go ahead and take Phantom Touch. So this means every time she attacks, she's going to have a 20% of inflicting bonus damage, and that bonus damage scales off of her attack. So if we look at her attack, it's 3,000, which isn't crazy high, but the damage is attack times 5. So it'll deal 15,000 damage before the defense modifiers. So it'll do slightly less than that, but not too much less, because we're reducing the Clan Boss's defense with Cruelty, and we have decreased defense and weaken from Jintoro. So he's got Phantom Touch on Seeker 2, which is the proper blessing for a Clan Boss setup. And so once I finish gearing Seeker, we're going to show you the builds and then jump into a run. Okay, so I'm just going to show you real quick the difference in the gear that we have set up. We're not in Toxic anymore, and we lose a little bit of crit rate, but the jump in crit damage is pretty immense. Like that's a significant jump in crit damage. I think the attack could probably be higher. I might do a little bit more tweaking now that I think about it, actually. Yeah, hold on a second. Actually, you know what? I just realized the reason his attack is so low is because these boots aren't 6-star. So that attack will go up dramatically once these get 6-starred. Again, we're low on silver. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and equip this. Yes, we're low on silver. All right, I got to find 500,000 silver to equip this gear. I will be right back. All right, we made some silver. We're going to try this again. All right, so just to double check, the most important thing when you're doing a speed tune is the speeds. So Seeker speed 176. I input into the calculator and adjusted for the 2 speed sets he's wearing, and there's no Lore of Steel, so that's fine. Next, Jintoro is 152. I have him input into the calculator. Everything is copacetic. That should be great. Eris is next. 163, which I input into the calculator to double check, and everything is fine. DeMatha, I have input in the calculator with 3 speed sets in Lore of Steel at 291 speed. Let me double check. Yes, that is correct. And Mother Sybil, who needs to be 165 speed and 1 perception set, which double check. Yes, I do have accounted for in the calculator 1 perception set, and we have her with Lore of Steel. Is that correct? Yes. This one. Okay, so everything should be good. And actually, no, this is perfect because it will let us see. Actually, almost forgot. I need to check Eris's masteries to make sure that she has this. Steadfast. Perfect. Very, very good. Okay, so because Eris has Steadfast and hopefully Mother Sybil does not. Correct, I did not take Steadfast. Okay, so that means Mother Sybil is going to be more likely to take the stun because of that mastery. We're going to test it against Spirit. This is his current... hopefully the tune I built works because I stole gear from a bunch of his current Clan Boss guys. Okay, so we're going to do Mother Sybil in the lead for her aura. And then for setup, we need to open with Seeker's A1. So we're just going to set this as the priority. So he opens with this, and also he plans to book this during CVC, which is in 2 days. So if we don't 1 key now, and if we're really close, it's entirely possible that having Jintoro fully booked will make the difference. Okay, so it probably does this automatically, but we're just going to do that just in case. Now, DeMatha is full auto. I don't need to touch anything with her, but Eris should be full auto, but sometimes she won't use her A2 if there's no debuffs to remove, so we're going to set it so she does. We're going to force it on her. Okay, so we're going to save that. I think that's everything. We're going to do a test run here. Hopefully it works. Let's get into it. Okay, we got decreased defense and weaken up. Oh, okay, this is bad. Crap. I goofed. I forgot to set up Mother Sybil so she only A1s. This is gonna be, I have to reset this. We're gonna start over. Okay, so we're gonna go into the turn thingy and we're gonna say don't use A2, don't use A3. This should be correct now. So we'll, just to make sure, we'll do first choice, second choice, just to be safe. And Eris, yes. Okay, let's try this again. Make sure we're recording. Yes, we are. Okay. Yeah, okay, so everyone's doing everything they're supposed to do. Eris will counterattack here. Places the poison. Let's see how much damage. I've never played with a Jintoro before. I've never pulled him. I missed it. Whoops. Okay, well, it looks like it's working. 71k, not bad, not bad. I think that was just his A1 though, which again, for an A1, that's pretty good. 110k on the A3, it's pretty good. I want to see the 121k, and you'll notice the War Master hits are doing about 80,000 damage. That's because, wow, 200k. The War Master hits are doing 79,000 from everybody except for Jintoro, who's doing 80,000, and that's because of the cruelty blessing on DeMatha here. But Jintoro is in a cruel set, which ignores even more defense, so his War Masters are hitting slightly harder for 80,000. I was also noticing that Eris, her debuffs are only landing for one turn, or 2 turns, which is normal. That's what they're supposed to do. But I think if we went down and took both Sniper and Master Hexer on Eris, it would give her an additional 5% chance to land a poison every time she attacks, and then every time she lands a poison, there would be a 30% chance that the poisons stay on for 3 turns instead of 2, like you see here. That'll give us a little bit more damage. Now we're just under turn 40, and we've got 52 million damage. Obviously, this is an easy 1 key for Nightmare. But that's not what we're trying to find out. We're trying to get him to a 1 key Ultra Nightmare. And I think he's normally on early enough to get it in on Void. Unfortunately, Clan Boss is Force Affinity. But I also wanted to test against Spirit to make sure that the Clan Boss stuns Mother Sybil here. And there was this 5-hitter A3 going off crazy style. Yeah, I wanted to make sure Mother Sybil takes the stun and not Eris, and she is taking the stun instead of Eris. So this was a good spot to test to make sure everything works. Okay, so here we are on turn 49. 71 million damage on Nightmare. I don't think this is going to be a 1 key versus Ultra Nightmare, so I'm going to cancel this key, make the adjustment I mentioned to Eris with her masteries, and see if taking Master Hexer and Sniper increases the damage by a significant amount. So yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll run another key and see if that made a difference. Okay, unfortunate plot twist. We're here in Eris's masteries, and we don't have enough scrolls to take the Master Hexer. And we're about... Takes 200 scrolls to unlock. We have 32. It's going to take a bit of energy to finish her masteries off, and we're pretty low. Maybe I can squeeze something out. Alright, so 20 minutes later we finished farming Eris's masteries. We went ahead and picked up Master Hexer, so there's going to be a 30% chance that we get extra damage on our poisons each time we place one. I just want to see how many books he has. So 10. Jintoro takes 12. Hopefully he gets lucky on those books, because I really want to see him get to that 1 key. He's been chasing the 1 key Ultra Nightmare for a long time, which is pretty good. Like he's so close for a free-to-play player. I mean, he's pretty late game free-to-play, but free-to-play nonetheless. So let's see how this compares. So let's use this one and let her rip. Hopefully we see a big difference. Okay, so here we are, 2 turns off, and we have about 2 million more damage than the last key. So that minor tweak to Eris seemed to do a pretty significant amount of damage. I've actually been keeping tally. I'll wait till it's done, and then I'll give you the final count, because we still got 2 more rounds really for everyone to attack, and then we'll see if she gets 1 more triple turn poison here. And doesn't look like it. Well, no, she gets 1 more attack before Clan Boss goes. Nope. Okay, so let's see. That was 5 million more damage than the last key that we set up. And the count for Master Hexer procs, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38. So 38 instances of an additional 25,000 damage. That was the difference maker. Look at her damage, 17 million. This is definitely going to be an easy 1 key nightmare when he finishes booking. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I know this is a bit different than my normal style of video, but hopefully you enjoyed nonetheless. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, and if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe to my channel, because I have new videos coming every week. And a special shout out to my clanmate Now21 for letting me do this account takeover for my channel. And if an account takeover is something that you'd be interested in, let me know in the comments below, and if I see that there's a demand for such a service, I'll figure out a way to do it safely for everyone involved. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and until next time, happy raiding.